Welcome back, everybody. Episode 25, Jiu Jitsu Dummies podcast. We're sponsored by FightBack CBD. Get 15% off your CBD order at FightBackCBD.com with code JJD. Check out the new flavored CBDs they have for sale as well. I know my favorite is the watermelon. Miguel, who's not with us today, his wife has taken the lemon, so we get props on both of those. My name is Milton Campus. Rolling solo today. All of my guys dipped out on me. They had things to do. Ooh. But we do have this young man on the screen here. We have Justin McCleeny from FightBack. So again, rolling solo. I'm a purple belt, FightBack Coral Springs. You can check me out on Instagram at Uncle Milty BJJ. Before we get into it with Justin, just be patient with me for a second. We had some really cool stuff going on.
Hey,
go ahead.
Time to grab a coffee.
Yeah, go do it, man. Go do it. No worries. No, perfect. I didn't want to keep you around. I didn't want to have you waiting. Wanted to take a second to thank everyone who donated to the GoFundMe so far for the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Foundation. We awarded the first 1-year scholarship to Bridger Walker, the young man who saved his sister from the dog attack. And he's got those 90 stitches on his face. So he's getting better. I spoke to his dad, chatted with his dad yesterday. He's doing really good. Not back on the mat yet, but he's healing up. So we're going to be doing something really cool as it relates to the foundation. So again, we raised money on Facebook. We've raised money on the GoFundMe. So we'd really love to award another scholarship very soon, real quick. Definitely before the holidays. We've talked about maybe just doing one per quarter. In order to do that, though, we've got to raise money, right? So we've partnered with one of our sponsors. Sean from Flow and Roll came to me. I appreciate you so much for bringing me the idea. We're going to offer some really cool perks for donations. We're going to start with a $50 donation. Will get you your choice of a Flow and Roll belt. We have from kids to adults. So you've got all the orange and the greens, the stripes, everything. You can get for every $50 donation, you will get your choice of a Flow and Roll belt embroidered with your name. Or let me bring this up here on the screen. Or, okay, some people might not want the belt. We'll send you a foundation mug. You see that on the screen there. So for every $50, you can get a perk. So if you donate $100, you want 2 belts, you want a mug and a belt, it's yours. We're going to send it out free of charge. Okay. You would be donating at our GoFundMe or on GoFundMe. Go to GoFundMe, search Jiu Jitsu Dummies, and you can donate there. If you've donated before and you maybe only gave us $5 or gave us, not only, but if you donated $5 or $20, whatever it was, go ahead and just average it up to 50. Send me a message. I'm going to reach out to you anyway. I'm seeing all the donations. I know who's done what. I kind of see the names, and I know a lot of you. I'm going to make sure I reach out to you, and we're going to make sure that we'll get your choice of what you want to get. I'll either put you together with Sean, or I'm going to send you the mug myself because that's coming from the podcast store. That makes sense, everybody, right? That's cool? We're good? All right, so...
Is that for the Patreon, or what were you talking about?
So, welcome back, Justin.
Yeah.
So... No, I appreciate that. No, thanks for asking. No.
Huh?
So, the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Foundation, we raise money right now. The foundation, you've got that cool Facebook. You can either add a donation. I don't know the exact wording of it, but you can add it to a post to raise money. But we're talking about the GoFundMe here. If you donate via the GoFundMe right now, it takes a long time to get the Facebook money, and we just started, so it's easier to get and start implementing stuff with the GoFundMe. So if you donate $50 on GoFundMe, you get your choice of a embroidered belt or a foundation mug. And if it's 50 or if it's 100, you're going to get 2 items. If it's 150, you'll get 3 items. So for every $50, we're going to give you a perk. So it's going to be either the belt and or a coffee mug. So we appreciate all the donations. Again, just trying to do good things. And look, Justin, I got to be honest, man, you're part of that inspiration. We were working with you before we started the foundation, and,
Sure,
Mission 22, We Defy, who we work with, and we've done some really cool stuff with, man. You guys inspired us to do this stuff. As a matter of fact, we were also doing this with first responders and military vets, and we decided to work with Redefy and just do the kid scholarships. We actually the initial raise, we gave some of that money to Redefy since we had raised it in the spirit of helping veterans. So we actually donated to one of their events. So again, go to GoFundMe, search Jiu Jitsu Dummies or Jiu Jitsu Dummies podcast, either or just wherever you're listening, go into the description on the podcast, go into the description on the video on YouTube, and you'll have a link. It's GoFundMe.com/F/Jiu Jitsu Dummies. That's the way to get there. So, okay, again, I'll reintroduce you guys, everyone. Justin McCleeny from FightBack CBD is our guest today. Welcome, Justin.
What's up, man?
Not much, man. Well, a lot. I guess a lot if you really take a step back and look at it. So much going on. Yeah. We're so happy to get the foundation, stuff off the ground. And, it took us, I think, about 6 months before we awarded our first scholarship. And it was like the perfect opportunity. Bridger, the young man who won, who protected his sister. It's just an amazing story. It was an amazing period. And then we found out he did jiu-jitsu and we're like, oh, come on, that's the one. That's got to be our first scholarship winner. So again, you were a part of our inspiration to some of the things that we're doing. We love giving stuff away. I give away as much stuff. We started with you giving away CBD. If somebody, send a question in that we use on the show, right? We send them a bottle of CBD. We still do that. We don't always have questions that we use. Sometimes, they're so general or for whatever reason, we don't always use them, but we definitely try to so that we can get CBD into their hands. And, there's an interesting question here. It's one of my first questions. And I saw you post about the laws changing in Texas. I always know now to reach out via message to the winner and say, can you take the CBD? Do you want the CBD? If not, I'll send you a T-shirt from the podcast store. But it's usually a cop, or have a question from Darren, who's a pilot, who says, when is this stuff going to change? What's going on with this stuff? I'm actually going to read his question, so I'm jumping way ahead here. But as an essential service worker in the COVID era, working long shifts, CBD would be a great nutritional addition. Inflammation, stress, and weight gain have been some of the adverse effects of the ongoing crisis for essential workers. The main issue for many DOT drug-tested employees, he's a pilot. I know he's a pilot. He's a friend of Junior's. Drug-tested employees and other drug screening programs is the notion that CBD contains traces of banned substances. Some pilot unions have gone as far as instructing their membership to not take CBD because it's not regulated and safety cannot be guaranteed. What steps, if any, is the CBD industry taking to move towards regulated and certified pure products or purity product? There's a lot there. Sorry.
That's a lot there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of levels on a lot of layers on this, I guess you'd say. So the federal level, which some laws changed around that. That's what somewhat opened up the banking situation, which was a real issue for companies, not just CBD companies, but any kind of cannabis, hemp,
right? Hemp products, oils.
Money's going offshore to China, Russia, wherever.
Yeah.
Where they process the credit cards, and so that was a change. And then that opened up. Some of that stuff is still changing, but. There's no like FDA necessarily type regulations really going on. It was more like more around the legal status and the what do you call it, the how things are classified as a controlled substance.
Okay.
So that opened it up for everybody. And so basically, from a federal level, it's legal. And then so that's one layer, and then you have the state layers, and each state has different rules now. That was part of the problem, I think, with the federal regulations. I know this is getting boring, but
we want to hear about
it
this
up
stuff.
To the states to create their own plan, and that plan gets approved by the federal thing. So each state can have little differences here and there. That's what led to what's going on in Texas right now. As far as like regulation is like how certain drugs might be regulated from the FDA. I don't really see that happening anytime soon.
But can you sit down with somebody like
you can't
go ahead.
You can't make something and be like, this cures cancer. You know, you'll get there from the FDA to stop doing that. But you know, most brands. Well, it goes back to what I think I said the first time we were talking, man, is it's good when you know who you're working with and you can trust what they're saying. Because I guess anyone can bullshit around. And unless the consumer themselves sends something off to get tested, they're not going to know, right? So I would tell people, you know, I get my stuff tested. I know it's not going to make people fail. It's everything I do is legit. I don't mess around with anything, you know what I mean? So I know I'm putting myself over. I know I'm doing the right thing, and I've been doing it. I don't even know how long and how much I've sold now at this point, dude. But I've never had anyone say, "Oh, I failed a test," and I work with, you know, all kinds of people who probably are told not to do it. But that's the thing, man. It depends on what you define as freedom, you know, and how I have a license too, you know, with my job, and how far does your employers reach into your life that they can tell you what to do? So I know it's harder for certain people and certain jobs, but this is the thing. If you're taking something that you're not going to fail and no one's ever going to necessarily know anyway, does that make sense?
Yeah. You know, it's,
yeah. I
mean, your bottles, I've got them on the table here, right? I mean, it says, right, THC free. I mean, that's what people are worried about, right?
And what it really means, man, is because it's made with a distillate, it's never going to be like 0.00000, but it's going to be well below where it can even show up on a test. So I send my stuff to the lab, it shows up non-detected because the equipment that they use it's below the testing threshold.
Okay.
That's way below a testing threshold of like a P test, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to show up. It's not going to make you fail for anything. Once stuff starts getting the higher level on THC, like what they call like some stuff that's like 0.3, sometimes it's over. You know, people could fail at that point, maybe, but not always. I know. Sorry, I rambled. And
no,
this question.
This is great. No, that's great information. You answered the question. Yeah.
What I'm trying to say, the short way is, you can probably do it, even if they tell you not to. That's your choice as a human. Yeah. And as long as you know you're taking something that's not going to make you fail, I wouldn't.
You're not making an announcement at work that you're taking CBD and you're going to beat a test.
I mean, that puts people in a messed up situation, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have to do that, but you know, I was in a similar situation. I mean, yes, maybe it's not similar, but you know, with back with when the naloxone for reversing overdoses wasn't legal, and we weren't supposed to have it, and we weren't supposed to use it. And it's like, well, I'm working in a community, and there's people are fucking dying right in front of me. I can get this shit, and I'm gonna reverse their overdose, man. I'm not gonna let them die. You know. But we were told, you know, we're not allowed to have that. That was an employer saying that, right? And eventually the state laws here came out, and it changed, and it made it legal for everyone to have, because it's technically, naloxone is technically a prescription drug, right? All it does is reverse overdoses, though. It doesn't get you high. But the laws came along and they changed it, made the regulations, so now everyone can have it. But that's like another example of how sometimes the laws, man, aren't. All law is some shit people writ down on paper, man. Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean they're in the right spot and they're doing the right thing. Sometimes they change, you know.
Well, let's talk a little. No, don't stop apologizing. Good, yeah, you're good. So let's can you expand a little bit on what you do for a living? And I mean, you talked about that.
Man. What I was talking about there is I used to do well, I'm a licensed counselor, and I used to do like community work, outreach work, and so I do stuff I don't want to get too much into it. I kind of like to keep my lane separate, but I don't do that anymore. I do something similar, as far as still in that type of work, man, with the substance use, just more from a policy perspective now, not a service delivery perspective, but
gotcha.
But yeah, that's what I did for a long time, man. and,
Dude, you just
and all that. Huh?
I just got an alert that you just donated $1,500 to our GoFundMe.
Yeah, man.
Dude,
I
oh
sent you
man.
some money, dude. Hopefully
Thank
that'll
you.
help out.
Ah, thank you, man. I no words. You caught me off guard there. I appreciate that.
Oh, that's what I was. That's what I was doing over here. That's why I asked.
I was. You were. You were looking down a little bit there, and I was just like, "Does he know that we?" Because we tried something with showing another web screen before, and I thought you thought maybe we had that up, and you didn't have to look at us. But awesome, man. Thank you very much, man. Awesome.
Yeah,
no shit, guys. He just donated $1,500. I appreciate that, man. It goes a long way.
You gotta get me on the spot sometimes, man.
Wow.
Tell me on the moment. No,
man. I appreciate it so much, and we say it all the time. You might not always hear it, but we talk about how much we love and appreciate you. And again, you legit. I've said it a couple of times. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but working with you and seeing what you're doing was the inspiration for the foundation. Right after working with you, it was talking about Mission 22, and we had a Patreon sponsor come through, and he says, "Hey, don't shout me out, shout out Mission 22." So we're like, "Screw it, we're gonna shout you both out." And then didn't even know Junior was a We Defy. He's actually a We Defy and a Mission 22 ambassador. So it was just like, wait a minute, it was such a good place for us, and it was a natural progression of the show to just continue to talk about. Everyone that comes on is you, TJ Kreitzer from We Defy. We love having people on that are doing really cool things in the jiu-jitsu community. So, I say that to like a lot of people like, hey, have this famous guy on and this famous guy. And I'm like, and I love jiu-jitsu. That's why I'm doing this. And I totally respect those guys, but I'm having more fun talking to people who are doing some really cool stuff within the community. Man. What are you doing with the jiu-jitsu? And that's not a diss on anybody who's making money or anybody who competes, but I'd love to hear the giving back stories. What are you doing to give back?
I'm taking some inspiration from y'all. I mean, I need to do like y'all and get a little crew together. I have some friends that help me every once in a while, but I do mostly everything over here by myself. And trying to get up my little foundation side started too. And
let me know what you need, or if you have questions. I did it all. Like, we're legit registered, the whole nine,
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But because when I first started out, things were slower, I guess you'd say, right?
Yeah.
I do everything over here by myself. Basically, I get my daughter to help me. She's a teenager. But mostly, I mean, every step from talking to every single customer to mailing every single thing, filling bottles, making orders. I mean, I do it all. And so to be able to do and then plus whenever someone reaches out and wants help, I don't know if I talked about what I do, but, if someone's trying to be sober or working on their mental health, that's my passion, sobriety. And I'm sober, and I'll try to help them get started in jiu-jitsu. But I just work with wherever they're at. I say, hey, tell me where you live. Let me see if I know someone there.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't, where do you want to train? I'll reach out to them. And I just try to basically hustle, work a deal, and cover their fees, you know? And so that's a lot of work, man, each time, It doesn't always work out, like you said, dude, I just keep it real, man. And when people have things going on in their life, sometimes this doesn't work out, right?
Yeah.
Like they're like, I really want to do this, but then they get scared or they have anxiety and they don't follow up. So I go from like all that talking to trying to get them in the classes to then they just can't do it, right?
Yeah.
And so anyways, long story, I want to be able to help people more too and find a more effective way to do that. I wanted to open a facility here in town where people can train basically for free.
Mm-hmm.
And all this COVID stuff going on, man, I don't know. I'm not even training, dude. I don't know luckily for me, I was already injured. So it just kind of made me sit my ass down,
Yeah.
But,
well, a couple of things I want to say to you.
Y'all are doing, man.
I appreciate that. But I want to, because I have seen you posting a lot more, like you've been putting out videos, where you're actually speaking, and you always say like, yeah, my wife's telling me I got to be out there more. So I
Yeah.
have, my background, my 9 to 5 is I'm in the marketing game. Before we shot this today, before we got on with you, we did a marketing podcast, a pilot for my 9 to 5. They asked me to put a little something out, put something together. So we actually just did that. So with that being said, you still with us? Your screen locked up a little bit there. I want to make sure you can hear me. Hey, we're back. So what I was saying, Justin, was, my day job, I'm in the marketing biz. That's what I do all day. We just recorded a podcast, a pilot episode for my job this morning. That's what we did before this. With that being said, if you need any help, if you need just, I'm good with the suggestion. Like I can invest suggestions and guide you in the right direction. I would love to say I could, do it for you. I know that I can't, but I could definitely tell you, I'll give you an idea. I have an outside website now that I give them the social media concepts and the ideas, and they do the graphics for me. So like I found a company like that, a couple hundred, I won't go into the cost, but a few $100 a month. They did so good in the first week that you can add another designer so you can get more per day. I got ideas like crazy. It's just you can't get that messaging out. So little things like that, stuff that I've tried, things that I've done, things that work, things that don't work. The marketing side, I also give props to my producer, Bo, my director, producer, friend behind the camera. I couldn't do this without him. I couldn't do this podcast without him. Other than the logo itself, I mean, he designs and does everything for us. So he's amazing. If you ever need any help with that kind of stuff, I can't say exactly what he would be able to handle, but I could put you guys together.
Sure, man.
At very least, the suggestions on what to do, the roadmap, that's what I do all day. I talk to people about roadmap on how to bring their product to market, how to talk about their business, how to get found more. So, most of our clients are, small and medium-sized businesses. So listen, anything you need help with, any kind of consulting or just you have a question about marketing, I'm your guy. So I definitely love to do that for you.
It's definitely not my my strength area, I guess.
Look, the foundation stuff, again, shout out to WeDefy. I'm new to the foundation game, but TJ gave me a few tips the other day on how to work with Facebook. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that when you set it up this way, you can set up a page for like each individual raise versus I was adding them to each individual post. So listen, I appreciate what everybody's donated and anybody that's helped from, again, $5 to your $1,500. I appreciate it, and it's going to good use. But, sometimes we need a little help with the guidance too. The money's great, but how do I get from A to B sometimes? He was giving me some great information the other day, and then I, throw it back at him from the marketing side. Hey, we should do this, and Veterans Day is coming, and what could we do? And let's collaborate, and I think that we both love those interactions. So same things, everybody that's involved with the podcast, I tell them the same thing. If you need help with ideas or you have a question about what to do next or what's working, what's not working, I'm your guy. I'd love to help you out with that. And,
man. One thing I was just trying to do is build up my Instagram, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'll tell you how to do it, man. I'll tell you how to do it. There's some little things that you could do, but like I said, the graphics company, they're creating, if you see the feed right now, most of the, graphic art that you see now is this company, and it took a huge piece off of my plate. I just have to give them the ideas and the concepts, and boom, they're putting it out, or they're sending it to me and I post it. But stressing about artwork and what to put out and the messaging and how does that look, and it looks crappy because I'm doing it with this app. Well, I found these guys, and so far they've done really good, so I could pass along that information.
Man, whenever I need something, I still use that old Photoshop CS6.
I remember that one. On a disc, you have the CD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got it. We'll say that.
Yeah. We all had that copy. I got that copy in the little purple see-through case.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's talk a little bit about, I know recently you launched some flavored CBDs. I was talking, you sent me a watermelon. Man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It tasted amazing. What explain that to me? Is it just about the flavor? Because I know that those bottles said that there was also something else in it. I'm not sure if I understand the terpenes.
It's the terpenes, which is like so every plant, that's why an orange tastes like an orange, or a lemon tastes like a lemon, or or a grape tastes like a grape. You know, everything has terpenes and I guess you'd say flavonoids in it. It's a natural thing for all plants and vegetables, fruits, all that stuff. Um, and it's also why if you think about, you know, I'm sober, but I know a lot about weed. So I wasn't always
so does
sober.
Bo.
It's why
Sorry, Bo.
It's why certain weed, it's why different strains of cannabis like smell different, taste different, have different effects. You know, THC is THC, CBD is CBD. I mean, that's what it is, right? So these other parts of the plant is what actually adds that effect. Where some people might think something is more like a headspace kind of thing, or something's more energetic, or something makes you feel more relaxed, you know, that kind of deal. And so that's the terpenes. And it's basically like the vapes, dude. The vapes are very similar. It's just super concentrated, right? And so yeah, I just thought, you know, maybe it'd be something fun that people like. And so I do those mostly in small runs, man. I mean, terpenes themselves are kind of expensive, dude. It's you know, between $100 to $200 an ounce. So it adds cost to each bottle, you know. And so and also I wasn't sure which flavor what people would really like, you know. So I could have picked like 3 things and just all have those, but at least for now I'm doing just random ones and all kinds of different stuff. So I always have different flavors. And I think right now I have purple punch, which is like it's kind of like a gelato and a granddaddy purple. No, I should say always use cannabis strain flavors, you know.
Yeah.
It's a mix on that. And then the what else do I have? A Fruity Pebbles OG, which is Fruity Pebbles, like the cereal. So so I got those 2 up right now. Who knows how long they'll be up?
Okay.
You know, most of these things go pretty quick.
You know that my favorite, hands down, and I've said this,
maybe 20 of them.
I really did. And look, I'm talking to the guy that sent it to me, so I'm going to say, it's, you know, sometimes I go, I don't know how much is in my mind, but the nighttime, like there were days I would forget to take it, and I would have a bad night's sleep, and then I would take I'm like, okay, this shit is legit. Like this is actually working. I don't care if it's just my mind.
People like that, man. People like that. I get a lot of good feedback for that nighttime.
Yeah.
I take it every night, dude, because I'm a horrible sleeper. So, even now, I mean, dude, the work from home and the staying at home all the time has that's affected. I don't know about you, but it's affected my sleep patterns and even worse than normal. So
I got to get up for a regular 9 to 5. So I get up. I'm at my desk. I clock in and everything. Yeah. No, I'm good. I know I got the wife and kids here, so like we all have to go to work. My 16-year-old daughter she just had her last day of camp counseling. So
nice, man.
So we were absolutely all on the same schedule, like kind of as normal, except she was sleeping until 12. Now she'll sleep till 12 in the afternoon, but when she had to, she was up at 7. You know, she was up before all of us getting ready. So, you know, for me, I've had to, you know, it really hasn't been a huge adjustment. And I've been in Florida for, I think, 21 years now, 22 years. So half of that I worked from home. So this is really normal for me. But the last 5 years working in an office, I do miss it. I do miss the human interaction. I talk for a living. I talk here. Man. I talk there. I'm talking to clients around the country. It's all so to be leaving messages for people and what are they doing? And they're in quarantine. They're in the office. They're not. They're traveling. Whatever it is. I'm not talking to as many people. I don't have my office mates to talk to. I was managing a group, talking to them about their clients and roadmaps to success and what they should be doing next. That's all gone, you know, unless we call each other. So it's like this, you know, it's very strange. Yeah. I had actually a conversation with the owner of my company. And I said, listen, I want to be one of the first back in the building. When you guys I'll take the chances. I want to go back. I just feel more comfortable. My daughter will be home now for school. Like her camp is over and she'll start school soon. So I'm going to see how that plays in, another human being in the house. Because my wife is essential, so she's been going to work. So with the 2 of them out of the house pretty much since the quarantine started, I I'm by myself from 9 to 5.
I'm in a similar boat, dude. Like most of the work I do now, it's either my business stuff or my work stuff, and most of it is phone calls, meetings, those kind of things, or computer type work, right? And that's, in some ways, it doesn't matter where I do that. I can do the same job anywhere. But yeah, my teammates, it's in some ways it's easier to have, or it's better in some ways to have that social interaction where you can yell at them, go hang out, go walk, go see people on the other units or wherever, and you have your friends all over the campus, and you can go talk to everybody and hang out all day if you want. And I don't have that now, so. But in some ways, it's good to not have to get up and drive in traffic too. So I think some balance in there would be good. But
we've actually the owners of the company, we actually have done really well. You'd be surprised that what took off
people are probably working more, man.
What took off in the marketing world, at least for us, I can speak to what we do. Again, we deal with SMBs, like small and medium sized businesses. Where what took off was, surprise, home services. Yeah. So I've already had a roofer come out, fix a couple of leaks. I had a leaky pipe from the second floor. Plumber out. We're selling the house, so I have a real estate agent out. So like all things related to the home, I've done. I had to have a guy come and fix the hole where the leak was coming through from the second floor. It was just a little tiny leak, but I had to poke it out and drain it, and then, okay, now I got to have somebody fix this hole. So that's like 3 or 4 different home service related. That's what took off. So everybody's home. The dishwasher goes. The AC goes because you're using it a little bit more. You notice that little brown spot on the ceiling because the roof is leaking. All that stuff. That's what took off. And Google has some really cool products, very specific. They launched a new thing called the Google Guaranteed Program, which is all based around the home. So it's like they're giving you phone calls and you pay for the phone call instead of like Google AdWords with clicks. Now, I don't want to get out into the weeds, but between that taking off and that product, we've done really well. So we haven't slowed down at all, but the restaurant clients, if they're not delivering, gone.
Yeah, man.
Gyms.
I've had a lot of gratitude. It's not always easy to remember that, to have that gratitude or to be, thoughtful. But for me, other than a few minor inconveniences here and there, things have pretty much continued as normal, right? It's like, okay, so I'm not going to my office. Woo,
Yeah.
But financially, things have been the same. And on the FightBack side, my business didn't really slow down too much because I do most of my stuff either through the wholesale or through my own personal sales on the website. So that's already, it's not like I had a storefront that I had to, oh shit, I can't have customers come in. I mean, I was already doing it online. So whereas like my friend who owns a store, they had to figure out how they're going to serve their customers. Cause like, are they going to do home deliveries? Are people going to come and they're going to walk outside? Because, how are they going to do this? So they can start doing online thing. I didn't have to do any of that. And I'm grateful, man, that throughout all this stuff, my trajectory basically stayed the same. I'm still moving forward. I didn't lose my job. I didn't lose my house. Well, there's a lot of people out there that are hurting right now, man. And, I can't train because of the COVID situation and and I had an injury and all that.
Yeah. What happened? I saw you talk about it a little bit online, but what happened? What's your injury?
This was back in like February. I had 2 injuries back to back. So like the first one was stupid. My finger is normal now, but it was like stuck hanging down like that because I blew out that tendon. So it's like what they call like a mallet finger, baseball finger, or whatever. The tendon snaps. So if you don't heal it, your finger will just stay bent forever. I could still grip. I just couldn't straighten it back out, right? And that's no big injury, dude. That's nothing. You just put a splint on it it takes months to heal, and you got to let it stay. You can't bend it at all. It has to stay straight. So now, like, I don't know if I can't even show it, but I can't I can't like close it all the way. I can only close it that far where, you know, the rest of it. Anyways, long story, but I had that injury and so I took a couple weeks off. And I was like, fuck it, man, I'm going to tape it up. I don't give a shit. And so I taped it back up real good. I'm like, I'm going to go roll. And dude, the first roll in, I fucking tore my groin like all the way. It felt like it sounded like Velcro being torn. Like,
oh man, really?
Yeah. And so like that big all through my thigh and then up into my abs there on my right hand side. It's still messed up, dude. I if I push my foot a little bit one way, or you know, sometimes if I'm trying to do a sit up or something, it's like I can't even. At first I thought, man, did I get a hernia or what? But that's just the injury that takes forever to heal. I mean, you can take 6 months, and the doctor basically said, you know, if I don't have to get surgery, although maybe I should have, but he's like, basically, don't tear it any more, or you're gonna have to get surgery. And it's like, you know. So anyways, that's what it's been. I've rolled a couple times at home with my daughter. You know, I have mats here, and I've rolled a couple times, and I didn't have like the.
She kicked your ass.
Like in guard, and you're in guard, and you just want to reach up and like squeeze them down. I didn't really have the strength to like squeeze my legs or do sit-ups. Man, I can't. You know, luckily I usually play things pretty loose anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
blue belt still. You're blue belt?
That's why I hadn't been training. And I would have been back by now, even though it's because I'm hard-headed, even though I can still tell I'm injured. I would have went back. But the COVID situation, my mom stays with us and she's got health problems, and, you know, I won't get into all her stuff, but she's very vulnerable. And so we've been like basically on like a lockdown at our house since March, really, man. I mean, it's been like real tight around here, dude. Everyone's here, you know, we don't go anywhere we go. People wear the mask, that kind of deal. Don't let people in, you know, just trying to do the best we can.
Yeah.
You know? So I wouldn't be able to go back. I don't know, dude. I don't want to get into all this shit, but you know, everyone has their feelings. I tend to say, hey, it's better safe than sorry. I don't know about you, but I've seen plenty of people go train when they're sick and they have the flu, and then the whole gym gets fucking sick, or it's like, damn, we all get fucking ringworm. You know?
Yeah.
Why do we all have staph infections now? Yeah. It's like, dude, people in the gym, one person gets something, everyone gets it. So why is this situation any different where everyone's like, man, fuck that. That's bullshit. I ain't wearing no mask. You know, it's not even real. You know? It's like, dude, anyway, I'm just not in a spot where I could I'm not really worried about myself so much. I mean, I don't want to get COVID, obviously, but luckily I haven't. But you know, it's a family thing, and I can't really put that.
I'm that guy here on this end. I'm that guy. I'm you know, I don't know if you remember, had a heart attack a couple years ago. You know, the coming June, it'll be 3 years in June. So I'm that guy that I'm the, you know, the weakest link in my house. So, but my wife, again, has been essential. My daughter's been going to camp, so she's around all these kids. We've been lucky. You know, I did get sick. I did get tested at one point. I was negative. So, you know, they also told me the day before they told me I was negative that they lost my results. So I'm like,
yeah, man. I've had a few friends that they got COVID, and it was brutal for them, man. And I have one of my good friends, his dad and his aunt both passed away. You know, they were older, you know, but it's no joke, dude. And I think it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like we got to do the best we can, and everyone's free to make their own. I'm not going to be a hypocrite.
Yeah.
You know, it's free to make their own decisions as an adult, to do whatever they want.
So listen, you're not alone in that boat. So like I said, I'm the weak link in my house.
Yep.
And the day before I was going into quarantine from work, I trained on a Sunday. I thought it was supposed to be a tear, but I actually sprained my ACL and my MCL on the Sunday.
Damn,
open mat at work. Excuse me, at my gym, rolling with my coach. So didn't tap. Didn't tap, and did it to my, you know, I did it to myself, coach. I know I did.
It's all good, man.
So I've been, so I haven't been, again, really,
Yeah,
even to right now, I can't train.
Him, man. You showed him.
Right.
You ain't no bitch.
Yeah. Right. Who's the idiot? Me. But I've been, I still can't even I can't sit back on my heels yet. I mean, that's the point that I can go back is if I can sit back on my heels, I'll go with a nice, taped up knee brace. But so heart condition, wasn't going to go train, blew out the knee, wasn't going to go train. So still can't. So I'm kind of it actually kept me from being stupid and going and training. And,
me too, man. I've always trained through every injury. I've had my ankle broken. I've both of them really not broken, completely, obviously the bone sticking out of the skin, that kind of shit. It wasn't like a severe compound fractures, but I've had my foot cracked and, tweaked my knees, whatever. You get Kimura and my fucking shoulders. So I've always just kept training. I didn't care. I'll put tape on them. I always tape my fingers, man. Yeah. And it's crazy the time when this finger, my left hand, I didn't tape that one up that day and that's the one that blew out. It's just fuck, dude. But yeah, so I had some benefits from this, from having to, it's a, I don't know, dude. Maybe I would have had to sit home anyways because I was injured, right? Mm-hmm. Or maybe I would have been able to train. Maybe I would have went back and blown it out totally, and now I'd be recovering from surgery. I don't know. Yeah. But there's been the benefit, but also the drawback, man, of if it wasn't this COVID shit and I was injured, I'd probably still go drop in at the gym and just hang out every now and again and maybe go sit in and just maybe I would drill a little bit, but maybe not roll. You know what I mean? I would have that social. I've lost all my social, things because I don't do anything else, man. I mean, I play video games and shit with some friends online. And we chat and that kind of stuff and watch. Actually, tonight's UFC, so yeah. I'm going to be watching it legally with some friends online.
Legally, you said? Legally. Oh, okay.
I pay for that pay-per-view. Watch it on that ESPN Plus.
I really do have ESPN Plus.
So I have that social aspect of, chatting with my buddies. And they're all into MMA and training and jiu-jitsu and stuff too. Yeah. So it's good to have people who know what you're talking about or man, Ryan Hall's the shit. They're oh yeah, he's awesome. You know what I mean? Not he's that dork who falls on the ground all the time and what's he doing? You know what I mean? It's good to have people who understand.
His wife came to our gym one time. She's Jen. She's friends with our have a husband and wife team, Felipe and Sofia Amarante. They were friendly. They brought her in and she did a little training with us. Before I even really knew who Ryan Hall was, I used to watch all the UFC, the reality show. He's been that long about the Ultimate Fighter. So I know he won his season, right? I think he won his season, man. Right? Yeah,
that was one of the great
I didn't know who he was until I looked at she came out and then I followed her online. I'm oh, she's married to that guy. Oh wow, But yeah, we look at it one way. People that my father says, why are those guys hugging on the ground? He's a huge boxing fan. Drives me nuts. He goes, isn't that the stuff that you do? Yeah, Dad, they're not hugging. There's a method to that madness, whether you believe it or not,
Yeah, there's no excuses now, man. Everyone's, I don't know, man. I guess some people are just more into boxing.
Yeah,
I boxing and stuff too, but I've always, back in the day, man, Roy Jones, Cornell Whitaker, and all that kind of stuff. And
Wide World of Sports on Sunday afternoon. Do you remember those days, man? I mean, boxing matches outside, and middle of the day.
Back then we didn't have that much. I know we're getting into old man shit, but I'd watch those the K1 and the what do they call it? The KS ISKA the karate shit.
Mm-hmm,
we didn't have if you want to watch UFC, I mean, for a while they took that shit off the TV. You just have to get it at Blockbuster, you know what I mean, on the VHS. So people nowadays have so much more options as far as it's way easier to watch all kind. I mean, you can get a Flow account, man. You can watch college wrestling, dude. You can watch, you know what I mean, tournaments. You can watch.
Are you into any of the tournament jiu-jitsu stuff?
Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I'm just getting into it.
Yeah, I have a Flow account. I watch more the like, yeah, occasionally I watch Fight to Wins and stuff because I have friends on, but events like that more so than like
they're doing a lot in Texas. They did all those Texas events.
IBJJF. Huh?
They did all those Texas events for like when they came back after COVID.
Fight to Win just did. So I'll watch that, or they have this the Submission Underground events.
Mm-hmm.
Those are cool. That's on Fight Pass, but anyways, yeah, I'll get more into like the pro events where they'll have like the marquee kind of matchups, like Craig Jones or something like that. I'll get into that, but I don't really sit around watching IBJJF tournaments.
Yeah.
Although you go to tournaments, I always make jokes about it, man. But it's funny, like, man, people's parents don't even want to watch that shit. It's like your teammates. You can't even convince your mama to come watch you, dude. They wants to watch you roll.
I'm gonna get attacked for this, but sometimes jiu-jitsu could be boring to watch. But you know what? I'm getting into the tournament stuff. The flow grappling stuff has been great. I'm so happy that I found it because the tournament stuff, because of the rule set, sometimes it's freaking boring. Can't reap, advantages and but I started working. We did a little sponsorship where we did a little something with Jits King. And we've developed a relationship. They're on our backdrop. They're doing a podcast. We got them I convinced them, hey, listen, I think you guys should do a podcast. So we're helping them out a little bit, doing some consulting work, and just start. And I was like, I want to. I started watching. I said, it's time to get the flow grappling. I want to see the Jits King event. Then I started watching, Third Coast Grappling. Those events have been great.
Man, they're down here.
I love them all. And I'm getting into now. I'm knowing these names of these guys, and I've even talked to some of them and talked to them about coming on the show. So, just getting into it. That is, I would rather watch a night of like a good, Jits King or Third Coast Grappling than go out to my local event and and watch an IBJJF.
I'm into it all. I like going to events, and tournaments and stuff like that. I'm not big on competing. I mean, to be honest. Well, when I texted you 5 minutes before the show, like, oh, I'm ready. Saturday's my day where I like to just sleep in and like chill, So,
what's that event that you've done? You've set up at a few times. Is it out in California?
The Submissions on the Shore.
Submissions on the Shore. Is that in Cali?
Yeah, that's the women's only. And that event, dude, was off the chain. They done two. They're getting ready to do the third event.
Yeah.
But they're great, man. It's women's only.
Yeah.
They have high level. I feel like that a lot of times women aren't. It's just like in MMA. The women weren't necessarily being noticed as.
Those are they're the best fights, dude. When I watch the UFC, hands down, I could say 75, 80% of the time the women fights were better than the men.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's. So the way I look at it, dude, it's like with grappling too, man. Anything, like people build up this narrative in their mind, and then they just repeat the shit over and over again, and it's like they're just parroting stuff that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So when they say shit like, "Oh, the women's," it's just not the same skill level. It's like, well, is it entertaining for you to watch? I mean. I go to tournaments, dude. I watch the white belts getting it, and it's like, dude, I'm loving it, dude, because they're going nuts. So it's just if you understand what you're looking for and what it is, it's like, dude, if I'm watching white belts at a tournament, I'm obviously not looking for a snail's pace fucking technical game where, oh shit, he got his pinky around his lapel, now it's over. I'm not looking for that intricate level of detail, dude. Yeah. That's not what I'm watching. I'm and it's the same thing with MMA. People shit on Bellator or they shit on, local tournaments or whatever, or local organizations. Like, oh man, they're not as good as the UFC. It's like, dude, open your mind, man. Are you a fan of the game or are you not?
Yeah.
You know what you're looking at.
My answer,
like I said, with the women, dude, if you know what you're looking at, you can see that there's some high level shit going on. Definitely higher level than fucking me. I know that much. And
I'm going to say this, and I've just, with doing the podcast, it's been a little harder to take a whole Saturday doing the podcast during the day, sometimes filming too, and then telling my wife I'm going to go out with the boys to watch the UFC. Luckily, she enjoys watching. She loves just, hanging out and watching, whether we do it at the house or we, go out to a bar.
Dude.
But
tonight got Derek Lewis, Black Beast in this hoe.
When people ask me, and I believe this is a sign of a true fan. So, and this is the same with boxing. When people ask me, who's your favorite fighter, other than the Mike Tyson era, because my birthday was on the same day as Mike, and just I grew up with the, when he was, I fell in love with boxing from Sugar Ray, Hearns, dude.
I go back and watch that Roberto Duran, Leonard. I go back and watch old school shit all the time, dude. I mean,
I don't. But when people ask me who's your favorite fighter, when I started getting into the UFC, probably in the early 2000s, people would say, "Who's your favorite fighter?" And I'm like, you know what? I have fighters I don't like, but I would say I just want to see a good fight.
A good fight, dude.
It's not the same as as football. Like, I just want to see a good game. No, you have your teams. With fighting, it's like, I want to see a good fight. Same thing with jiu-jitsu. I want to see a good match. I don't want to see it over fast. I want them to bring all of their skills to the game. Obviously, love when it goes to the ground. As a jiu-jitsu player, I want to see that. I want to see some ground game. But it's more about, I want to see good fights. And going back to the women, they always wind up having great fights. I mean, Dana White had to eat his words a while back. I remember the TMZ interview. They caught him on the sidewalk, and they were like, "We're ever going to see women?" It was like, never. And then boom, and look what it's become. And I think it's the best thing that ever happened to the UFC. And those fights are freaking amazing. But I agree with you. Whether it's Bellator, One Championship, K1, I just like seeing really cool fights, man. Unfortunately, I don't get as much time.
Good Bellator card was on last night.
Yeah.
Man. There were some good scraps on that. Dude, I like Bellator. A lot of times your people crapping on Bellator, like, oh, it's like, dude, it's man, I'm from the Pride era, dude. So people are like talking about, oh, they're doing this mismatch or they're doing this is just a joke. I'm like, dude, I love all that shit. I'll watch Fedor fight anybody, dude. I don't care. That's my dude, Yeah. I mean, I'm old. He's old. Cool. let's do it. You know what I mean? I don't get it, dude. So it's like I said, though, I think it's people who don't have 20 something years of being a fan of the sport. They have they came on with they're new to it. So it's like they're protecting their own ego and their own insecurities by trying to shit on something else or shit on somebody who's out there training, dude. It doesn't matter what organization it is. The people are out there training, and that could be your teammates, dude. You know what I mean? You go to train, you got teammates who go fight on these cards. I mean, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be shitting on it if it was your teammate out there. So why on it now? You know what I mean? So anyways.
So hey, where do you
that kind of shit.
I've had this question in my mind. I don't know if you just know her because she's a customer. Or do you know Britt Tover? Is it? Am I saying her name? Britt?
Yeah,
do you know
Britt?
She does train with you.
Yeah, that's my teammate.
All right, because she'd be she's always shouting you out, and I was just like, I posted something one time, and it was her in the picture, and you were like, hey, who is that chick? And I didn't know if you were messing with me. I'm like, oh man, I thought they knew each other. And you said you were like, yeah, you know that chick? But I took it as like, I don't know her, but she's always shouting me out. So do you know her?
Yeah, no. That's like, if I did, I was probably just messing around.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I took it as
that's my homie.
Okay, yeah, she's where do you give your gym a shout out? What do you awesome. Give your gym a shout out? Go ahead and say hello.
To me, what?
Yeah, give your gym a shout out. What is it? Sinister?
Oh yeah. So I when I was training, I don't know, maybe they exiled me. I trained at with Lynn Hughes at Sinister BJJ in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
So we're like one of those gyms that's like I don't know how to describe it. It's like I don't want to say, it's like a family. It's just like we have our own culture. You know what I mean? It's a smaller gym, so everyone's supportive of each other, and it's just about jiu-jitsu, and it's people from all different backgrounds, dude, and all different diversity, and everyone just comes together for jiu-jitsu. There's no drama, no bullshit,
Yeah,
And
we're like that here. You know, a lot of people when they hear from out of state, when they hear fight sports, they're like, "Oh shit, cyborg
yeah,
land." You know, like, "Oh,
yeah,
look, that's in Miami. That's that.
yeah,
There's a different breed of jiu-jitsu player that trains there. Not to take anything away from any of my my training partners or
yeah,
teammates,
man.
but it's a little bit of a different culture up here in Coral Springs. So you know, my coach goes and trains down there with them, and then brings back the move of the day, and he's so we still have that connection. But you know, we're there's like real estate agents, accountants, marketing guys, podcast people, all of my podcast roundtable members, all my partners here, they all train with us. They all train at Fight Sports, with the exception of Raul, one of our first co-hosts, who I haven't talked to him in a little bit. But
What's
he's
his
still
problem,
training.
man?
Yeah,
What's that dude's problem?
right?
Why's he always got to be different?
Creonch. No, I don't. I'm just kidding, Raul. Love you, brother. But yeah, like but we're the same way. It's just like this. Listen, I wouldn't be doing the podcast if I hadn't started jiu-jitsu. Might not have done the podcast if I hadn't moved there from my first gym that closed. But yeah, I mean, we are this little family. We like to pick on each other. We like to make fun of each other.
Yeah,
it's what's made the podcast really work, is us, ripping on each other like, we're just old friends. And I think the feedback that we get the most is like, man, that's the way me and my friends talk. That's what we're like when we get together. I get that a lot. I get those private messages like that. So yeah, we're the same way. It's like, look, we're not.
Man.
No one's going to Worlds anytime soon.
Yeah, people are always welcome. Well, you better check now with the COVID shit. But usually we're always open for anyone to drop in. So, and we would do our sparring nights on Thursday nights. So we would get a lot of drop-ins from other gyms, and it's always cool, man. Like people working on their shit for a tournament or a pro fight, come drop in, do some rolls. Or people are traveling, they need a place to train when they're in town. It's a good spot because like I said, it's a smaller. Sometimes, man, like if you, if people are traveling, it's a good environment to be able to go into a smaller place that they're kind of interacting directly with the coach rather than, the coach is like within view of them rather than to drop into like a 30-person class and then they're rolling and there's, it's like huge gym and they're a guest and so you're kind of leaving it up to everyone being cool with the guest, and not everyone's always cool, so.
You hear my story about the guest that dropped in that I usually wear a shirt over my rash guard. He tried to take my shirt and wrap it around my neck, literally like try to wrap it around. He tried to wrap my he tried to wrap. I said, hey, look, our first roll is always a flow roll. He was brand new, never met him before, so I said, hey, I'm definitely going to stick to the flow. I'm not going to just go in on somebody that comes. I went really slow, and he went ham. He thought it was tournament time, and I told him, I said, do you know what it was a no-gi day. Do you know what flowing is? I didn't know his experience. Turned out he was a purple belt. But he had come in a couple of times. I had only met him this once, and I kind of, he was going really hard. So I was just kind of playing. I rolled over. He was on my back. I was good. He grabbed my shirt and tried to literally, like, he got pissed off. I tried to wrap it around my neck. I said, "What the fuck are you trying to do?" It was crazy, man. But I rule going forward for me is I don't care who drops in. I'm not rolling with them until I see them roll with a couple of guys and they're not fucking spazzy, man, especially with the blown out knee now.
Most of the time when I'm traveling, unless it's like an affiliate gym, that I know the coach, it's one of our teammates in another area, or something like that, or maybe if it's like I'm going to a seminar or something, that's a little different. But to drop in and start rolling, like me personally, I don't like it too much. I mean, that's how I got injured before when I got my foot cracked. It was on a drop in. It wasn't at my home school. My home. I was dropping in somewhere else, and sometimes people want to go hard, man. I was just fucking around. I wasn't even trying. I wasn't even doing anything. I was just laying around like a dead fish, flopping all over. And this dude fucking cranked my foot off and caught my knee and cracked my foot, cracked my ankle, and it is what it is. I don't care, man. It was just kind of stupid. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Rub some CBD on it, man. Rub some CBD on it. You'll be fine.
The dude was apologetic. I think he just, sometimes I think people just get a little overzealous. They don't realize that, that they're like, they're going to crank a sub that's like way past where they normally would. And it's like, dude, I didn't have a chance to tap because you instantly, I mean, I guess I could have tapped when you got a grip, but you can't. It's like if someone gets a heel hook on you and you don't know them, you don't really got a chance to tap. If they want to just rip it, they can. You better tap as soon as you see them grabbing it, because once they got it, it's over. So, anyways, long story, but I got like tattoos and I'm not like
they saw you coming. They were like, "Oh shit!"
I'm not the smallest dude. I'm not the biggest dude. And so I think sometimes people. Yeah, they think I'm gonna go super hard, so they go super hard. I just feel like, dude, people always go hard as fuck, and I'm like, man, I'm not about that shit.
Yeah, dude, I'm usually the biggest guy in my gym. I mean, I'm easily 225, 230 at any given time.
Yeah.
About 5'11", so I'm usually the biggest guy. It's not all muscle. It's definitely not all muscle. So I've learned. I pull guard a lot with the little, the smaller guys and the white belts. And
man.
We talk about humility a lot. I've got to learn to not, somebody starts going hard, I start to escalate. I let you control the volume. Put it that way.
Man.
I'm big enough that they can't just move me too easily. Yeah. Not saying I'm the the best guy on the planet. I'm no Gordon Ryan by any means. But I'm definitely going to let you dictate the pace because I'm so big. Because if I do, I'm a bully. I'm the bully if I'm going too hard.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I mean, and I've seen people do that. I think we talked about that last time. Like you don't need to crush someone. I think it's like having, once you have the knowledge of what you're doing, there's kind of no excuses, in my opinion. If someone's like way smaller than you and you're fucking them up, it's like, well, you know what you're doing. It's not like it's day one for you. You've been doing this shit for 5 years, dude. Yeah. Like, your pace. So it's just it's a good way for both people to get hurt, to be honest, man. So it's better to not do that and just, like you said, just flow and chill. That's why, like you're talking about Britt, that's my homegirl, man. And I love rolling with her. She's obviously smaller than me. And
she looks scrappy. I haven't seen her roll. She's scrappy.
Oh yeah, dude. She wants to go. But
what were you going to say? She wants to go hard. She likes to go hard.
Yeah, she wants to go hard. Yeah, she goes hard.
All right, Britt.
That's cool, dude. That's cool. That's cool because we that's cool because we have a size difference there. So it's like she can do that, and I can be more mobile and like work on my like turtle and like work on my inverted shit. I ain't gonna invert against you, dude, because I'm gonna you know what I mean? So it's like there's benefits to it, and sometimes I think people don't understand. And maybe it takes some time, I think, to understand that. Like it's good to roll with someone who's maybe smaller and faster than you, because it'll force you to work on some shit that you don't normally get to work on, and it might be easier on you to work on that without like the risk of getting stacked on your neck, And then so if you do start doing it against your own people in your own weight class, you at least have like the muscle memory of knowing that where it's likely to end up. You know what I mean?
Does this happen to you too? Like when we do get a new student or a big guy that comes in, the new white belt, 250, maybe 300 pounds. Yeah. My coach says, Amazon Prime just delivered that for you right there, just to your specifications. Milk, go ahead, roll with that guy. I always get matched with the big guy, no matter what belt. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's how it goes, man. I don't mind that either, it's but that's how it goes sometimes, especially like when you're at a small gym, it might be a class with like everyone else is new except you or something like that, so it kind of falls on you to make sure. Yeah, dude, sometimes a new person who's like big, it's a challenge, man. I mean, it's not easy. Shit, man. I mean, maybe if I was 20 years younger, it'd be easy. Yeah. But it's not easy dealing with someone with that kind of size. So I think that's a good exercise for people to get into. Shit, everyone should get that experience. It's like you think you got something. we'll fucking get it on this dude. He's 250. He's pissed. See what you got.
All right, man. Listen, I'm gonna let's wrap this up. I got some
Sure, man.
shout outs and some housekeeping to do, but I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate you
Yeah.
so much, man. Thank you for the donation
dude,
today.
anytime, man.
And
I don't mind getting on, talking, shooting the shit.
yeah, man, we got to do it more often. We definitely have to do it more often.
I don't know what shout outs I have. I guess let me see. Just anytime y'all have any questions or want to talk about CBD, you can send me a message. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, my website. You can email me. Instagram's my favorite way because that's almost texting, so it's real quick. Back and forth. We can have the conversation. So I'm always there for you. I'm always the one that answers.
Mm-hmm. And you're saying not only that to us, you're telling that to the general public, right? I mean, I know that you've offered to, hey, if
you're listening to this, and also, I'll say if you're listening to this and you have a friend or family member who's been working on staying sober or working on their mental health, and you train and you think it might help them, let me know, dude. I help people get in to start training. I cover their costs, buying McGee, that thing. So for people who are getting sober or working on mental health, I'll help them out. So
awesome.
Contact about that too. I do my best, and I always listen and I always talk to people too. So I'll do that.
Very cool, man.
I don't know what other shout outs. I'll just ramble.
Oh man, that's okay. Listen, it's a talk show, man. The more you talk, the better this is.
That's what this is, right? My team, Sinister, BJJ. Already did. Yeah, man, I appreciate everything.
And look, my offer, and I know I know the help that I can offer. So please, let's get together and talk, whether it's just chatting or, hey, man, what would you do for this? Or you have any suggestions for that? Please reach out, man. That's on the table for you to use. I got a lot of useless but good knowledge. Some half useless, half good knowledge for marketing. Like, let's talk. I'll tell you some of the things that I've done, and I'll tell you some of the mistakes I've made. And like I said, I can introduce you to this, this social media, this company that does these social media ads. I post it, but I give them the ideas. I upload what I want. They've got a cool website. Like, upload it here. You can have up to 5 different brand profiles. And so, like, I do it for me, for the podcast. I do it for the foundation. What's my third? I forget what my third one is. So I haven't even used all the profiles. I can have 5 profiles and get basically like where I'm at 2 social media images a day. So I can give them the ideas and they can give me some original content besides what I post and what I, what I repost. So we'll talk. We'll get together and, got any ideas about anything? Or look how we can help. You've got announcements that you want to make. You got the new CBD. I keep an eye on your Instagram, but let me know, man. We'll have you on, or we'll just do a little product launch, or let's get more involved in that, in that regard. I could definitely help. If I told you the numbers, you'd be like, holy shit, I can't believe you guys are doing this. This is not like the, I see podcasts out there, period. It's like 5 views on YouTube. We're not that. We took off, man. Look at our numbers. I mean, we're in the tens of thousands on stuff,
Yeah, I should say that too. If you're someone out here listening and you are going to order something from me, make sure you use the code for Jiu Jitsu Dummies.
Yeah, JJD for 15% off, man.
Code, and that way it shows up that you were a supporter of their podcast, that kind of deal.
Awesome, man. Okay, I'm gonna let you go, brother.
Shit too much. Yeah. But, I'm sure if I was like a good business person, I would look at where all these affiliates and like all codes are being used. I don't
listen. This stuff lives forever, man. We're gonna keep on promoting and talking about you. And thank you so much for everything you do for us. Again, we usually give, like, Darren's gonna get a bottle of CBD for his question that he submitted and that we spoke about earlier. So sure. We'll get in touch with you on that. And again, listen, Jet, we appreciate you. I'm gonna let you run, but I got some housekeeping to do here, man. Take care, brother. We'll talk soon.
Later, dude.
All right, brother. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Awesome, man. Take care, man. I don't know how to. I got to get rid of you here. Let me see here. I'll leave. Take care, man.
Later, bro.
All right, guys. We're going to do a little housekeeping, guys. Stick around. I got some really kind of cool stuff to talk to you guys about. Stick around because this stuff is really good. We talked before. Okay. If you donate to the show, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but I think this is amazing. If you donated to our GoFundMe or even on Facebook, and you sent $5. You want to send the other 45 and get a belt, an embroidered belt. Where are we going here, Bo? Right here, right? If you want to send the other 45, we'll send you an embroidered belt, or we'll send you a very cool, I hope Bo's got that on the screen, Jiu Jitsu Dummies Foundation mug, which you can also find on jiu-jitsudummies.shop. All right. Sean from Flow and Roll offered it up, gave us the idea. We said, okay, not everybody's going to want a belt, so we'll throw in the mug, but amazing. This is an awesome belt. Again, Flow and Roll, Sean, thank you so much. For every $50, every $50, you can get a perk or a gift. So if you want to donate $100, we're going to give you a belt. We're going to give you a mug. So again, if you donated already, you want to average it up, send me a message that you donated the rest, and we'll get you a gift. I promise you. So let's. We talked about We Defy a couple of times during the show. We want to thank the We Defy Foundation for their support and all they do for veterans and the veteran community. If you don't know what they do, they provide therapeutic relief to disabled combat veterans through jiu-jitsu. You can check them out at We Defy Foundation on Instagram, and you could donate anytime at wedefyfoundation.org. All right. I want to also thank Power Shield and the War Bar. Look at this guy. I think this is amazing. I've had it for a couple of weeks. We didn't shoot. We took a little bit of a break after episode 24. But look at this amazing, number one, love the freaking logo. It's amazing. Okay. So what are you telling me, Bo? Lower? Bo's giving me signals off. I'm here. Which one should I be on? Oh, this one in the front. Oh, I was going here. You told me that this was my camera. Okay. So this was here, so I didn't have to pick it up. I was trying to get it closer. Sorry, guys. So the War Bar, Power Shield, they are freaking amazing. They were, if you guys remember back, they had the spray. You could spray it on your body. You could rub it in. They sent us bath salts, lots of cool stuff. They just launched the War Bar. It is amazing. And they sent me, I'm hoping, I think that this is part of the package. If they send this out, you also get a soap tray. It's a wooden soap tray. So very, very cool. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for sending that to us. I've been dying to use this. But I wanted to wait till we showed it on the episode first. Again, FightBack CBD, get 15% off your order with code JJD, FightBackCBD.com. And I got one other unboxing, if you guys don't mind. Stick with us for a second. So I am a BJJ box client, and they sent us some cool stuff here. So first, I got the shirt. Can you see the shirt, Bo? Where am I going here? Woohoo! Right? What does it say? I don't even remember. Roll light. Roll light. Enjoy jiu-jitsu responsibly. So this was in the package. This was in the package today. Roll light, jiu-jitsu. Enjoy jiu-jitsu responsibly. Screwing up with the mic here, Bo. Sorry. So they gave us this shirt. They gave us a couple of knee pads. They gave us a air purifying bag. I guess it's for your gym bag or your gloves. That's cool. They gave us the sports bean. Okay. All right. These are actually Jelly Belly, Quick Energy jelly beans. Very cool. Now, I do have a bone to pick with them. You guys got to start sending stuff in a box because I get it. Hat's cool. Essential grappler. But if you're sending it in a bag like you guys did with the stickers a couple of packages back, it just completely folds up and it's a mess. I love the shirts. I'm with you guys because I love the shirts, but if you're going to keep on sending stuff in the bags, it just gets all jammed up. So that's my take on it. So BJJ box, step it up a little bit with the shipping. Housekeeping here, guys. We talked about Fight Back. We're also going to talk about Jiu Jitsu Shop, the jiu-jitsudummies.shop, 10% off with code JJD. We have ranked rash guards, tees, face shields, backpacks, coffee mugs. We've got our foundation gear there as well. Free shipping on orders over $50, okay? So We're also brought to you by JJD Podcast Consulting. Check them out on Instagram at JJD Podcast Consulting for any questions you have about starting your own podcast. You want some free information? Great. If you need some help, we'll definitely love to help you out, get something launched. Anyone out there that would like to work with us or sponsor the show, donate products for a giveaway, please email or check us out on our social media. You can find us everywhere at Jiu Jitsu Dummies. You can visit our website, jujitsudummies.com. Different from the shop, there's the store, and then there's the podcast website. So you can visit jujitsudummies.com or send an email through info@jujitsudummies.com. Our contact page on that website also allows you to suggest a potential guest or tell us, who you want to hear on the show. If you know somebody, that's great. Put us together. Have them reach out. Okay. We'd also like to thank once again Flow and Roll, number one for the idea, but for everything that you do for us. Check out Flow this is on Instagram at Flow_N_roll. They have really cool jiu-jitsu t-shirts and other apparel. Online you can go to flowandroll.com. Get 20% off your online order at JJD, but when you go to their Instagram, you can check out all the cool custom stuff that they do. Okay. If you'd like to support the show other than the GoFundMe, right? So the GoFundMe is for the foundation. Patreon is if you want to support the show for as little as $5 a month. You get entered into two $100 drawings every single month. So Darren, who sent us a question for the show that we used, he doesn't have to be a patron, but he's also going to get entered into both of those raffles. So he has a chance at, usually it's a gi from Flow and Roll or a $100 gift card to jujitsudummies.shop. All right, let's actually get the logos back up there, Bo. So let's try and get the logos back up. All right, I'll get better at this, guys, with all our new setup. All right, so two drawings. You can win at least $100 in jiu-jitsu swag. Listeners who submit questions are also automatically entered into that. So, all right. So shout out to our current podcast patrons. So first of all, we have our newest patron, Robert Walker. That's also our foundation winner. That's Bridger's dad, our first foundation winner. So he is now our newest podcast patron. So shout out to you guys. I hope to see more pictures of Bridger, in his healing process, and can't wait to see him back on the mat. We also want to thank Frank House, Liam Berg, Wolsey Rivera, Boa Athletics. You can check them out at Boa, BOA_athletics on Instagram. Michael Pixley Jr., Jason Smiley, Eric Perkins, Britt Tover, love you. James Fisher, CJ Carroll. We always shout out Mission 22. Chuck Reddoor, that's my meme guy, always has me laughing hysterically at the stuff he sends me. And Roberto Santiago, our South Florida Kung Fu soon-to-be master. All right, you can check me out on Instagram at Uncle Milty BJJ. And let's give out the foundation stuff. We talked about the foundation a lot. If you want to check us out some more, you can follow us on Instagram at the JJD Foundation, on Twitter at the JJ Dummies FDN. And then again, the GoFundMe, you can just search or look in the description. In the podcast description or the YouTube subscription, the link will be there. You can search on GoFundMe, just search Jiu Jitsu Dummies. The link is gofundme.com/F/Jiu Jitsu Dummies. All right. That was a lot. That was a mouthful, guys. Sorry, I screwed some of that up. I'm looking all over what camera do I look in, Bo? We got a 3-camera setup, guys, now, so this is all new to me too. So appreciate Justin. Thank you very much for joining us today. Again, FightBack CBD. We appreciate everything they do. Amazing. I'm still taken aback at the fact that he's on the TV screen there. I'm talking to him, and he's sending me $1,500 to GoFundMe, sending the foundation $1,500 to GoFundMe. So appreciate you, Justin. Once again, thank you, everybody, for listening. I want you to all stay healthy, stay safe. Take care. Os.